Hoi hoi chummers, this is Dan, the GM of What the Dice. But enough about me. You want to meet our runners, so sit back, let's meet them.
Hi, I'm Jared, and I play P. Dexter, the Decker Doc that knows no bounds.
I'm Ethan, and I play Cypher, the Street Samurai, and I've got an axe and a pun, and I know how to use both.
Hey guys, Nightland here, and I play Sparkles, that satyr that never stops smiling and has an attitude as loud as her grenades.
Listener discretion advised. Content warning level green. Standard Shadowrun subject matter. Foul language, sex, violence, drugs. For all of our content warning, none of these subjects go into graphic detail, but it is involved in the story of the episode. Listener discretion advised.
The camera fades in, and we find ourselves in the Golden City, on the street corner, looking into a weapon shop. Well, a gun shop, to be specific. We can see people in the distance, lined up, shooting down range. We see advertisements for smart links, as well as some of the newer weapons and pistols and rifles that are being offered by all the major corporations. Our eyes slowly find Simon. He is standing at the register, and it looks like he is talking to one of the attendants. The pistol he purchased is out, and he is discussing something. We're not sure what. And then we see it. We see a cleaning kit being handed to him. There seems to be a short but casual joke or laugh. We assume whenever Simon purchased the weapon, he forgot to purchase additional cleaning supplies. We watch as the attendant begins to walk him through the process. They are slow and methodical. We watch them carefully. Then we start to notice the piece on their hip. It's not your normal everyday piece. It is a custom piece, something that a runner would carry. We give a slight smirk as we go to step into the shop, but we stop as we hear this strange static coming over a passing drone.
Hey everyone, this is Eddie Sparks. So, Eddie's got his car in the back, getting worked on by a couple of my go-ganger friends. They're souping it up, and they're also installing the portable studio. It's nice. I got me a new chair, I got me some mood lighting. Well, I think it's mood lighting. It changes its color, so maybe it's more like all good and Drek's hitting the fan colors. It don't matter though. So Eddie Sparks is going to be able to get on the move here in a couple of weeks and bring you the truth as I stay hidden in plain sight. So seems as if our runner friends had to deal with a couple of wannabe gangers with some gear that's out of the league. I don't know. It takes a lot of work to hide a gun. It takes a lot of work to make sure it is not traceable. I'm not sure what wreck they have walked themselves into, but, well, when the Drek hits the fan, it really hits the fan. So, let's see what they's up to, shall we?
It's been a couple of days since the end of your last run, and we approach the Friday afternoon. You all remember you have this lovely little run where you have to take care of a Nova Hot pop star known as Bella Acid. The mission is simple enough on paper. Pick up the pop star from the marina, transport her down to the private airport, or I'm sorry, not the private airport, but the airport. Make sure she has her dinner, get her on the plane, and the payout is complete. Sounds easy enough, but we'll find out, won't we? We come in as the team. Where do you guys want to be? Do you want to already be at the marina, or do you want to be loading into your super van? How do you want to do this?
I want to be early. So I guess since I'm driving, we're gonna be early.
Right?
Yeah, it kind of works that way.
Yeah. I'd like to get there early and have a look around to see where problem spots could be with a transfer from a boat to the van.
Okay.
Go ahead and do a lap around the marina just to look for any undesirables.
Yeah, because doesn't the marina butt up right against King's territory?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Our fucking sniper's gone.
Not okay with that.
And you don't have a mage, so you can't do astral perception. You don't have a drone operator, so you can't release the drones. Wow, this team's kind of lacking in the ranger department, aren't they?
Don't know what you're talking about.
Hey, we're fighting a battle of attrition here, buddy. Yeah, so the only thing we can do to shore up our weaknesses, show up early and try to be ready. So canvass the area, try to set up some type of perimeter.
Well, there's only one side of the marina your vehicle can get to, and that is the parking zone.
Okay.
Now, there's a couple ways that you can park here. You can park in the strangely secured parking garage. There's also private parking that if you own spots here in the marina, you kind of have your own little garage. And then there's the, what is it called? Valet parking, and then there's just the open public parking. How it works with this marina, there's a couple of ways to check in. You can either check in at the receiving area, where it's basically, you can come, visitors can check in, and they can head straight up to the docks. You can go into the beautifully ornate looking lobby that has security guards roaming about, as well as a reception desk and a little bar lounge area. You see actually quite a bit of security walking around. They're not like the diamond grade security. They're security guards, and they do have body armor, not like to the grade of what you all would have. They have like more of a security grade armor. And you can see some carry rifles, some carry pistols. At least at a passing glance.
So, guys, with this much security here, why is it that we're escorting her? What happened to her detail?
I think that guy's just being paranoid because she's some pop star that she's gonna get swarmed or whatever. I don't know.
And maybe she doesn't have a good security detail.
Right? Well, I mean, he said that she had. He pays the normal guys $500,
right.
Whatever.
Well, I mean, he did try to shortchange us originally, didn't he?
Yeah. He wanted to pay us the same as his normal goons, but why would he not just use his own normal goons?
Valid point. I don't know. And isn't it also we can't feed this pop star after midnight because she's like a gremlin or something?
No, we can feed her. It's that he doesn't want any pictures taken of her quote-unquote doing something that will ruin her image. Whatever that means.
I could have swore there was something about don't feed her after midnight.
No?
B. Dexter, do you remember anything about that?
I said I wouldn't sleep with her because she's an elf.
I mean, I'm not worried about that. It is an elf.
Hey, we can take pictures of it.
I mean, I could try to seduce her if we want to play that angle.
No.
Okay. If she's really mean, we might have to play that angle. Just saying.
Mean or just mean to you?
Is there a difference?
Normally, I wouldn't care.
I don't know. Maybe she has a thing for some trolls as she elbows.
I mean, I get it.
Right?
Hey, I am damn unresistible, and you know it.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
the tusks.
It always is the tusks. Or the horns. They're nice, too.
What'd you say about horns, handlebars last time?
Yep.
They're
Definitely.
horndlebars.
Horndleballs. They're balls. I missed that one. I can't say it.
Horndlebars.
Horndlebars.
Horndle ball sounded much more entertaining.
It is not.
No, you want a horn to your balls? Because that's a hard pass for me. I mean, unless you're into that.
Yeah, no, I'll pass on that too, even though I don't have any balls, but imagining like a horn to a tit, that would hurt.
Yeah, you're not going to probably enjoy that.
But no, Sparkles is gonna look around being like, well, do we know where she's landing? Which dock she's landing at?
We can go to reception or wherever it's a private marina. They should have some sort of dock master. So let's go there.
If you guys would give me a perception check, I can answer this question for you.
Yay!
Sure.
Hey, at least it wasn't lowest edge, please.
Right.
The night is young.
5.
Dang. I got 4.
I got 3.
Well, all of you notice this yacht coming into view. It is a Evo Aquativa 1. As you guys are sitting there talking, you see these bright lights that are this neon pink shining up into the sky, and you almost hear the sounds of pop techno kind of pulsing off in the distance. With the perception checks, you can see a neon green and pink version of the Evo Aquativa, which is a very ornate style yacht. Some people would equate it to a houseboat, but this one is all decked out to have Bella Acid's colors and branding across it.
I don't know, guys. Think that boat's loud enough yet?
Yeah, that is one of the ugliest things I've ever seen. Fucking elves.
I mean, it kind of makes sense for a pop star. As she turns the colors of her outfit down. But that still doesn't answer the perception of which dock is she coming into.
So you can see that there's only 2 docks that are open, one of which has the branding of King, which that boat is clearly not there. And then you also see another dock that just says Reserved.
Okay, so that has to be hers then?
Yes, unless that's King's boat and she stole it.
That would be a death sentence, but hilarious to watch.
That's the case. I'm grabbing some popcorn and sitting back.
All right, so get her off the dock, walk her to the van, go to the airport.
Sounds... I'm not gonna say it.
Yeah. Sounds like a plan.
Yep.
All right. Well, how close can we park?
You could park the public parking. It would be a short, kind of like the closest parking to like a standard grocery store. It would be a minute or 2 walk from there to the gate. Then you have to get let in, and then you'll be able to get to the marina, which would take another minute or 2 walk.
I'm gonna drive right up to the gate.
Yeah.
So there is no loading gates on this side. The closest you can get is about a minute walk from the closest parking spot. Like a stroll, kind of like a if
A
you're
leisurely walk. Yes.
Yeah.
I was going to say, do we spot any paparazzi hanging around? Because I do recall we were supposed to keep them away.
Give me another perception check.
Were we actually supposed to keep them away, or is it just make sure they don't take any bad photos of her? Because that's a difference.
Make sure they don't get any pictures that would defame her, make her look bad.
Yeah, that's a difference between keep the paparazzi away and make sure she's not doing something stupid.
I got a 3 again.
You see a couple of paparazzi standing by the gate. They're clearly waiting for her to come out, and their cameras are up, but it's one of those this is normal. I mean, all of you have seen the paparazzo shows on the Tridios where, you have the group of paparazzi that just follow around taking pictures, hoping to get that bad picture of the celebrity that they can sell to the tabloids.
Well, I'm glad to say that we don't have a whole crowd of them.
Yeah. I mean, it is what it is.
Are they going to be in our way between the dock and the van?
No, it looks like what they're doing is they're lining up towards where if you were looking straight on, you would see the front of the boat. Your dock entrance would be over about, 4 or 5 feet, and there's security guards there. So the paparazzi are not going to stand near the security guard because that could legitimately get him in trouble for blocking, entrances and exits to a building.
An egress?
Yes, an egress. Gotta be all fucking fancy and shit.
Hell yeah, we do. Pinkies up, bitches.
Forever. Okay, well, I guess if we're parked and hopping out, paparazzis are there. We did not arrive early. So
You arrived before her, and it does take a couple of minutes for a boat to dock. Especially since it looks like they're actually trying to dock in backwards. Like they're trying to make it to where the front of the boat is actually still out towards the ocean.
Getting fancy with it. All right. Well, guys, looks like we did beat her by a little bit. Doesn't give us a lot of time to take a look around, but there's security guards, there's fences, so for the most part, we should be good. Do we want to leave someone with the van?
I was kind of thinking that.
That way we don't end up with someone hiding in the back on us.
Exactly what I was thinking.
Okay, who we want? Rock, paper, scissors?
Well, here's why I vote that I shouldn't do it. Because if we want to be really safe, we can do the old switcheroo, and she can throw on my overcoat, and I can put on some of her fucking clothes, and yeah.
Hope
you know what?
Throw it fast enough disguised together.
I mean, I feel like if someone's trying to kill her, I'm setting myself up. I'd rather lose a job than lose my life, but...
Hey, Sparkles.
Huh?
If he puts her clothing on, please get pictures of it.
Visor, baby. She just points to her helmet.
Well, not doing that plan.
The night is still young.
But yeah, someone should stay with the car. Who's staying?
Well, I mean, you're nice and big, so if you really needed to,
Snatch a bitch and
snatch
run?
a bitch or, get in somebody's way and look all big and intimidating and a troll-like, you're kind of the man to do it.
Wait, I'm a troll?
Would have never guessed. Are you sure you're not a dwarf?
I could be a dwarf, a gnome. Hell, I could probably be a lizard. I don't know.
No, I can stay with the van. You two can go get her.
Sounds good.
I was more impressed that you didn't be like, well, if someone starts shooting, you could soak the bullets for her.
I mean...
We ain't being paid enough to soak bullets.
Right, that part.
As you all are talking, the boat has started its final docking procedures and is slowly moving into where it can be tied off.
All right, Spark, let's go walk ourselves up there and let the security know we're here to pick her up.
Sounds good.
All right, guys, I'll be here. I'm gonna pull out my fucking machine gun and make sure my clip's loaded and rack around. I mean, fuck around, find out right now.
Hell yeah. Frack around and find out, baby. He goes, although, of course, she's gonna flash the two boys some of her grenades going. I got some on me, mostly smokes, in case we need them.
All right.
Probably a good idea. That way we don't damage something that doesn't belong to us, like, something at King's on his side of the fence.
Yeah, and with all of the security around, so... But if for whatever reason, Dexter, Drek hits the fan, grab my backpack.
Well, I still have the box of puppies in the back seat.
Yeah, but that has... I ain't gonna walk around with a shotgun on my back, okay?
Oh, I got you.
Right? If Drek hits the fan, you grab my backpack for me.
I'd take your shotgun. They know what we're here to do.
Are we allowed to carry that if we're being guards in the city like that?
You are technically on the outskirts of the city, and you are paid to be security.
So we can carry.
You can you can carry, but if it's in your hand, you're probably gonna start causing some heat. But if it's slung on your back at the ready, they're not gonna.
Okay, well then she'll take her backpack and all of her crap.
Hell yeah!
All right.
Can I get a perception check from everyone?
5.
2.
3 for me.
As you all are getting your gear on and getting out of the van, you hear this sound. Some of you might recognize it, others of you might not. But it's that distinct whirl of a prop helicopter.
Hey everyone, this is Dan, the GM, bringing you the mid-roll. So, first and foremost, thank you everyone from our Patreon, both the followers and those who pay. If you are paying, of course, let me give you your shout out because it's so much fun to do this. A Relic, Ethan, and Lady Lumi, thank you so much for your continued support. Everything you do helps us grow our show. If you want to help us out and you don't got the scratch, if you follow us on any of the social medias, if you follow us on YouTube, Twitch, just make sure you do a rating and review. That helps us grow. Speaking of grow, I want to make sure I do this week's promo. This week's promo is for a show called the Arcology podcast. It is one of the, I believe, one of the longest running Shadowrun shows out there. It is by a gentleman named Mr. Johnson, and it is an absolutely amazing show. I personally have been listening to this show for years. They do everything from lore to an actual play, and recently he has been doing interviews with other Shadowrun shows. I actually had a chance to interview with him, and it was an absolute dream come true. Mr. Johnson is one of the people I look up to in this field, industry, hobby. I don't know what you want to call this, in the podcast world. If you want to check them out, there'll be links in the description as always. So that is unfortunately all I have for this week because they don't have a promo, so this week's mid-roll is a bit short. Thank you so much for all of y'all's support in everything you do, and of course, as always, may the dice gods bless your every roll.
And as you are all looking, you see this black, two-prop helicopter start to hover over the marina. And all of a sudden, you see a bunch of guys just zipline down, and as they're coming down, the sounds of sniper rounds going off as there are securities hitting the ground and blood splattering everywhere. There is bedlam and mayhem as the dock erupts into just pure chaos as the boat is starting to be tied off, is charged by several armed men. You hear more gunshots, and the boat starts to drive off.
In the hell did we just get into?
Well, if there was sniper fire, I would have been ducking behind something. And then finding out what was going on.
How much can we do?
Yeah, because that takes a lot of time to zip line down and do fire.
Oh no, they were shooting as they were coming down.
Sure.
Yeah.
You have some time to react. You would not be able to get through the gate because that's where it looks like they're taking out. Basically, it looks like anyone that's got a weapon on them is primary target for that sniper.
God damn! Oh shit!
How many of them make it onto the boat? And how many of them are still about after people have fallen dead?
It looks like 4 got onto the boat, and then there's a handful of them that are basically taking the ropes back up, like they are starting to climb back up those ropes. It looks like their primary target was Bella Acid.
In the living Drek did we just witness?
Well, looks like job's over, guys.
And also, who were those guys?
I don't know.
I will give you guys a perception check.
I got a 4.
I got a 5.
They have no distinguishing marks. All the firearms are blackened out. Their uniforms are traditional camouflage.
So no distinguishing marks.
Correct. And this whole thing took about 10 seconds to go down.
Alright, so helicopter shows up, zip lines come out, and these guys are coming down gun, right? Mm-hmm. So we're not blasting through the gate right in front of us because that's where they're shooting. Okay, cool. But once the boots hit the dirt, they're not shooting anything. Or they could be, but they've got a shittier vantage point.
Mm-hmm.
So, could we feasibly get to the boat before they pull up ropes?
Or getting around them in some capacity.
You would have to get through a gate, like a large chain link fence with razor wire at the top that has only security checkpoints in them.
Okay, so you covered that ground in 10 seconds, yeah?
Yeah. But, again, I do want to state there is a fence that has a security checkpoint.
How tall is the fence?
Big enough to stop a troll from just easily hopping it. You would have to climb it, and then there's razor wire. Razor wire
hurts.
Yeah, there are doors that swing in that are the checkpoints. You could, in theory, probably shoulder check these hard enough and they'll swing open because they're not like blast doors. They're just checkpoints.
Okay, so let's...
But the security people at the security checkpoint just fell over dead.
Would it be faster for us to get to the boat? Would we have a better chance of getting to the boat if I hop back in the van, bash through this gate, and mash the gas towards the boat?
You would be jumping a curb. Then you would have to ram the gate, or the fence, whichever. And then there's the fact of, then there is the dock. So you would be having to stop the vehicle before going into the water.
Yeah,
now,
absolutely.
Where they drop down is they drop down right next to the boat.
Right. Yeah, we're behind the 8 ball, absolutely.
Pull the car up to the gate and use the car as a ladder and up over.
We're not climbing through razor wire. It's going to go through the gate. It's a chain link fence. We're driving a vehicle that will give way.
Yeah, that is true. It's just having enough brakes to not fall into the water.
I just want it open.
Yeah.
And the car is covered just in case there's snipers we don't see.
We are protected by said vehicle.
Yeah, I want to get to the boat as quickly as you can, and the gate's in the way.
Or grenade.
Yeah, all right.
There are civilians that are still running around.
Okay, but are they in the immediate place where the security guards got shot and dead?
There is bedlam. People are running around, taking cover, but I do need a composure test.
Hey, I actually got a success.
Sparkles, you have identified a threat. And not only has that threat made itself apparent, but they just grabbed your target, or at least the boat that your protected ward, whatever you want to call them, is in, and have decided to frack off with them. You have this sudden urge that you can't hold back, that you want to just bust through that door and run towards that ship.
Can I get to the boat in time is the question. With gymnastics and parkouring my way to it.
Give me a edge roll.
3 successes.
With 3 successes, you might be able to make the run and jump onto the tail end of the boat. As long as no one gets in your way.
Parkour!
Alright, give me a... So you're gonna just go straight through the gate, or you're gonna try going over the gate, aren't you?
Why do you think I was asking how high it is? Because I also have a jacket. You can throw that over the barbed wire.
Alright.
No, it just depends on which is the fastest way.
I will say going over the fence would be the fastest way, but you may end up damaging your armor in the process. Through the fence or through the door might be a little slower, but you would have 0 chance of damaging anything. But both would equate to approximately the same. Just depends on which route you want to go.
How's the door closed?
It swings in. So do you remember in those community pools that have like those little gray box doorknobs that have like the buttons that you just type in?
Would a shotgun shot?
I mean, yeah. I mean, you have armor piercing rounds. Yes, this door would not stand a chance to.
So in the sudden blitz towards the door, pull out my shotgun, shoot the door open, use the body to push it open. You said I could, and see if I could get there or not. I have a second question.
Okay.
Am I only allowed to shoot something once?
With your shotgun.
Or my grappling hook?
Grappling hook, you would have to drop your shotgun if you wanted to instantly switch. Like, because you do not have a arm sling. Your shotgun is not a sling design. So to switch weapons like that, you would have to drop it. The grappling...
Does it look like I'd be able to make the jump to the boat from the dock?
Right now, yes. By the time you get there, maybe.
All right, well then, we're going to shotgun the door open.
Okay. First thing I need you to do is roll your gunning skills. I need
2 successes.
With 2 successes, you rack that shot and you blast through. The doorknob handle thing that's on the door just blasts away. As you shoulder check in, one of the men that's up on the helicopter climbing up the zip line is opening fire. Please roll me your agility.
1 success.
You have to stop and duck behind a trash bin as the barrage of bullets comes down just at your feet.
Could I gymnastics to somersault ahead?
I'll let you do that. Yeah, give me a roll for it.
2 successes.
You roll forward and you feel a couple of bullets just skim by your head. You're in the clear, but it has slowed you down just a little bit. You can still take the run for the jump if you wish.
And you said you needed what for me to make the jump?
It's going to be... let's go... You have acrobatics. Let's do acrobatics.
What, you mean gymnastics?
Gymnastics. Thank you.
I'm debating on if I want to spend an edge. I only got 1 success.
I mean, I don't want to tell you to do it.
No, I'm doing it.
All right, roll your edge.
5 successes total. That's what I'm talking about, baby!
With 5 successes, Sparkles, as you land on the boat, there is a human standing right there.
Which, by the way, I'm imagining this in my head of that whole, she bolts, like, pulls that shotgun out as she's running, fires that door open, rams it with that whole head down and her shoulder because of her horns, because they are armored, has to do that forward somersault to avoid fire, rolls back up into a stance and, like, starts Terminator running to that end of the dock with that long leap onto the boat. Just so everyone envisions what's in my head.
Sparkles, with those successes, I'm going to give you a chance. I need you to roll your edge.
Do I get to know why?
You have landed on the back of this boat, and there's a human in this armor, and he has an axe, and he is poised to swing at you.
Okay. So it's not my reaction, it's edge,
I'm going to let you do edge to avoid the first strike.
and not reaction.
Yeah, because that's a luck thing, because he's already mid-swing, so it's
Okay.
as you land.
I got 1 success!
All right, with 1 success, I guess the only way I can say it is your runner senses are tingling that there is danger. I will now allow you to roll your reaction to either roll forward or roll off and dive into the water.
Forward, baby!
But you do see 3 other people on this boat, plus Bella Acid, who is at gunpoint.
So give up the advantage of I'm on the boat, or face off 4 guys by myself.
Mm-hmm.
But I have Leroy Jenkins.
Mm-hmm. But at this point, this is you have succeeded with your Leroy Jenkins. You have got to the target. Now it is a survival tactic. What is your decision?
Smoke bomb? Right, smoke bomb grenade?
You would have to pull it out. You don't have that kind of time. You literally just jumped onto this boat.
Snatch her and dive in the water.
I think I've reached the limit of my movement.
Yeah. Don't follow Leroy Jenkins on how that ends, please.
This one's really hard for me to decide. The gamer in me is going roll off into the water and don't die. But the sparkles in me.
You got a shotgun.
I do have a shotgun. It's just an axe. How big's the axe?
It's a pretty big axe. Basically, it has an axe head. It also has a spiked pick on the back, and on the top there is a spiked knob. This thing is vicious looking.
So an upgraded combat axe, by the sounds of it.
Oh yeah. What's it gonna be, Sparkles?
I really just want to roll forward and like hit this guy in the dick. I really do.
You wouldn't be rolling into him, you'd be rolling underneath his swing.
I mean, I'd say go for it, but what do I know?
You know what? This was supposed to be frag around and find out. I'm rolling forward.
Okay, roll your reaction.
Mama didn't raise no bitch.
I got at least one success.
Okay. I have 4 successes against your reaction to hit you. So you can take the hit, but it will... And then we will roll to see if it pushes you backwards. Because he is baseball swinging this axe.
I'm going to spend an edge to make you reroll.
Okay. So
Well, that's not the right way to swing an axe.
Right?
I have 1.
So you only got 1 success on me.
Correct. You take that hit, but it's more of that, like, it's almost like getting bumped into. You kind of had that momentum that it's just like he pushed you. You don't take any damage. You kind of shrug it off. But now, initiative. But first and foremost, that is the end of this week's episode.
It's later that evening, and we find ourselves sitting in our vehicle. It's an armored vehicle, and we have been looking for work. Following Simon has become more of a hobby than anything. Watching this strange elf fight and struggle. But we're not just here to study him. We've come to the Golden City for a gamut of reasons, one of which is work. We pull out our comlink and we begin to scroll through our messages looking for information about contacts or things of that nature. Seeing nothing has come across, we reach out to ShadowNet, looking for extra people, extra connections, things that we are looking for. As we set our comlink down, we see Simon crossing the street. Next to him, a beautiful elf, the woman from... Next to him, we see that beautiful elf that he was speaking to back at the Renraku building. They're walking next to each other, laughing and joking. He has a enamored smile, where she has a placated smile. If they are on a date, he thinks it's going well, and she thinks it is going passable. We smile as things have just gotten interesting for this little corpo wage slave. As we reach to turn the vehicle on, our comlink crackles in static.
Well, my friends. It seems as if Sparkles has gone a little off the wire. Blasting through doors, jumping into all sorts of danger. But, you know how it be. Gotta frack around and find out. Especially if you want to get that nougat. We sure as Drek don't know who's grabbing this girl. And, man, they got some firepower. They got themselves a tacopter, and they had some good snipers, and that was too well planned. I mean, I've run some pretty hard runs in my life, but that right there, that was clockwork. Every spot, every shot, everything right on the money. Too bad they ain't runners. No one knows what kind of chaos we'd be able to get on with that. Well, let's just hope that our runner friends haven't bit off more than they can chew. I mean, you're dealing with the celebrities. You never know what kind of freaking psychos are out there. Well, unfortunately, I gotta go sign some paperwork and get this vehicle to a spray shop. I'm gonna deck it out just right. So, yeah. Well, as always, my friends, stick to the shadows. Always keep your gun loaded. And never make a deal with a dragon. I'm at a Sparks, and I am signing out.
Hey everyone, Nightland here, co-creator of What the Dice, and player of Sparkles for Season 2, to do some thank yous here at the end of our episode. First and foremost, I would like to thank each and every single one of you for listening. We would not be here today without you, and I do mean that sincerely. We never thought we would get this far, and knowing that there's someone out there, yeah, I'm talking to you, the one with the earballs listening right now. If it wasn't for you guys and us knowing that you're actually here and enjoying what you're listening to, we wouldn't have kept going, and it genuinely fills our heart with joy, and I want to make sure that we tell you every single time at the end of these episodes. We are eternally grateful. Second, we would like to take a moment to thank all the things that we use in our day-to-day What the Dicey ways. First up, Epidemic Sound for our sound effects and music, Podbean for being our host, Foundry VTT, and Forge VTT for creating their virtual tabletop gaming applications and services, Craigbot for our recordings, Catalyst Game Labs for Shadowrun, which is the current system we are running. And with that, if you can spare a moment of effort and want to help us out, the best thing that you can do is honestly, tell a friend, share us, drop a link in a Discord somewhere that you're a part of, or take that 2-second effort of hitting a like, hitting a follow, giving us a star rating. Whatever the button is on whatever it is that you're listening to us on goes a long way in helping us fight that horrible algorithm monster. Also, the Topps Company Inc. has sole ownership of the names, logo, artwork, marks, photographs, sound, audio, video, and or any proprietary material used in the connection with the game Shadowrun. The Topps Company Inc. has granted permission to What the Dice to use such names, logos, artwork, marks, and or any proprietary material for the promotional and informational purposes on its website, but does not endorse and is not affiliated with What the Dice in any official capacity whatsoever.
All right. So, do we want to get started?
Yeah, I'm
Yep.
very ready.
All right. Everyone in Discord then? Or not Discord,
Foundry.
Foundry?
You say that knowing damn well I'm not there yet.
I had to look. I was like, how can I tell? I'm like, I see 3 icons, and then I like look at the coin. I'm like, oh.
Oh, yeah. No, I know full damn well who's in Discord or in
It's
Foundry.
like asking who has the lowest edge. Dan, do you know who has the lowest edge in your party?
What an
party?
asshole!
He's an asshole. We should start singing that next time, every time he asks, who has the lowest edge?
It's just loading. I'm waiting on it to load.
All right. I see you now.